Are you ready to rumble and tumble and stumble and other things that rhyme with humble? Because I'm humble and I don't know. But we back for the NXT review. That we actually doing on the same day that NXT was on, which is weird. It's a scary new world, but we're exploring it. Maybe people like it more. I don't know. But let's get right into the N, the X, and the T. You can't see it, but I was pointing to each letter as I was saying it because I'm cool like
I mean,
that.
you knew they couldn't see it, so why would you?
Because I was gonna tell them anyway, so then they could so they could rewind, and then they as they were listening, they could imagine me doing it. Anyway, we open up the show, and the show opens up with
Be
you know,
sure to present me, by the way.
I don't gotta present you. I just gotta click on you because there's only two of us.
Okay. Just want to make sure you was on your game because you never know with you, you know.
I'm always on my game.
Barely.
With the game, especially on the Game Boy. I'm always on the Game Boy. With the color one. I ain't had a color one when I was a kid, but I wanted a color one. I had the black and white one, which was pretty good. You could still play the Game Boy Color games on the black and white one, but they won't come out in color. They come out in the black and white. Nikki Cross, she comes out, in the ring, and this might have been the best part of the entire night. She gets out of the ring and goes over to the ring announcer and leans down and talks into the mic, calling out Ruby Riott. And it's turned into a pretty good brawl on the outside. I love how it takes more security guards to separate two women than it does men. Bruh. Bruh. But thoughts on the opening segment, brawl, thingy thing?
Yeah, I definitely liked it. I like Nikki Cross in the way like she kind of called out Ruby Riott. It was just a like an interesting segment. I like how they're building this, and I like that they're building these two together because they're obviously going for Ember Moon, Asuka, and you might as well have these two kind of doing, going after each other too, since they're kind of intertwined as well. So I liked it. I thought it was good. I liked the brawl as well. The brawl went, it played out well.
But did you like the way that she used the microphone? Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, how she got that lean. Yeah.
I was like, you could lift it. You ain't got it.
Nah. She had to make it weird. She had to make it weird.
She definitely made it weird. I hope they didn't I hope they didn't rehearse that at all. I hope she just did that. But we get a recap of Hideo Itami's return from the previous week, making a statement to Bobby Roode. Roode is basically asked his thoughts on Hideo's actions, and then he says that if Hideo wants a title shot, he got to earn it. And I'm like, that's not what we asked you. That is not the words that came out of our mouth. That is thoughts on the recap or the interview.
I definitely like both the recap and the interview. I love Bobby Roode as a heel just in general anyway. And as far as he hasn't earned it, I'm like, how has he not earned it though? Like he been there like twice as long as you, and been right there every time but gets injured.
He got injured
I think
twice as many times as you have.
Yeah. But I think he earned it. I don't know. I think I'm more interested for the match. I'm interested in both the build up and the match. I want to see how they're going to continue to build it up, I guess, too.
Yeah. Then we get Andrade Cien Almas versus Drew McIntyre. I really like this match. I loved Almas kind of showing his cockiness, and then Drew just kind of coming back at him with his power and aggression. But what annoys me most, and I couldn't help but think about this during this match, is I would love to see, and I think it would be awesome to have this Drew McIntyre like booked on the main roster, but I know they wouldn't book him like this on the main roster. Because I love the way they're booking him in NXT right now. I just wish that they would do that when he eventually goes back to the main roster and don't put him back in 3MB. Thoughts on the match?
This was definitely an interesting match. I was excited for it because I love CN, and obviously I love Drew McIntyre. I've loved him since his first run he had. I do miss his old music, the Broken Dreams theme. I do miss that, but I like that his like moveset has changed since he left and came back. Like obviously he's using more of his moveset that he was more recently using. But I like that his moveset has changed. They didn't like try to go back and make him into the same guy that he was before. That was one thing I really liked about Drew McIntyre in this match and kind of in the segments he's been in. Is that they're painting him differently than they did when he left. Well, obviously you don't want to paint him as the 3MB guy, but even before then, with the Chosen One thing, I like that they're trying to change it up. But this was a good match, though. I think there were points where CN had some chances, but I think I like the storytelling of the cockiness kind of getting the best of him. But yeah, I want to see what they're going to do with Drew McIntyre and see kind of how long it's going to take him to get to the main roster, and how long it's going to take him to get to potentially even the NXT title.
Yeah. Then then Regal sets up a match between Ruby Riott and Nikki Cross for tonight. Any thoughts on that? The potential of the amazing match.
Well, I was excited for the match, but I was like, man, there's a bunch of matches on this card. I don't know how they're gonna fit all of these in.
And we get a special look at Roderick Strong. I absolutely love this. They've done similar kind of special looks and video packages on like Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. I think they did one on, but it went really. It felt like it went more in depth than the average video package on a new superstar or whatever. It kind of went into him growing up, the hardships he's had to go through, coming into his love of wrestling and things like that. This was part one. They said they will have part two next week, so I'm excited about that. Any thoughts on the video package?
Yeah, I definitely like the video package. Like you said, it did go like more in depth than like your typical like this is who I am type video package. And like this is one of those things that I wish they would adopt more on the main roster, especially for these guys who are debuting or coming soon or whatever. Like this would be a good way to connect them with the fans. If they would do this, because like I think this is a good way of connecting them with the fans even on NXT, but especially on the main roster where it's a little bit harder to connect with the fans with every single character. I feel like they should do more of this more often on the main roster for these NXT guys who are coming up.
Yeah. And we get Kona Reeves, all of our favorite, versus Aleister Black. Poor Kona. Poor Kona. Justin thought he was in the Cruiserweight Classic. He won't. No. But Yeah, Kona, he tried, he tried to bring the fight to Alistair. Needless to say, it didn't work. Kona dead. Kona dead. Funeral services will be held next week because he dead. And I saw him moving, like I saw his leg moving, but he dead. DJ, any thoughts on Kona being dead or the match?
Like you said on, I think it was Twitter, Aleister Black's entrance is the greatest thing like ever. I love the little like rise up thing that he does.
Yeah.
Like at the very beginning, I'm like, oh my god, that's so cool. Like I think I mark out for that. Like it's pretty cool the way they do it. And I'm always one. I think it's just a camera thing. I don't think it's like him. Like I mean, I think like if you're watching it live, it may look weird as far as like in person. But like I think it's just the camera thing is what it looks like because it's not like a platform that he's on or anything like that. That's noticeable that you can see. So I am curious about how they do that. I would assume it's a camera thing, but I love his entrance. I love his little like sadistic Indian style, just sit down every once in a while type thing. I like how he just does it in the middle of the match. Kind of like going into a trance, I guess you could say. But yeah, this was. I mean, it wasn't a good match per se. It was a jobber match, but I definitely like Aleister Black though, and I love his finisher. I love his finisher too.
Just a good, quick, swift kick to the head. That's all you really need.
Well, it's. I think when I first saw Rich Swann do that kick, like it didn't look as believable as what Aleister Black's doing. Like I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the people that's selling it or it's the way he sells the kick or something. But like he just looks so much more believable as a finisher, in my opinion.
Yeah. I also love when he like picks his opponent up with his foot, like, bruh. But yeah, I definitely love Aleister Black. When he gonna get the NXT title though? That's what I need to know. When he gonna get that though? He need that. Ruby Riott does an interview. I like her. So far, I like her interviews that she's had. And I do indeed want to start a riot. I do. DJ, thoughts on the interview?
It was a good interview to kind of build this upcoming match, as they say, with Nikki Cross. But I think I was more excited for the match. But I definitely like her interview stuff too.
And then I don't know if you was thinking this, but I was wondering, how did Andrade fit all them ladies in that SUV?
Yeah, see, I think what confused me was the question that was asked, because like it was made to seem like he hadn't. It was made to seem like he hadn't faced him yet, which was weird to me. I don't know if you got that vibe, but the way like the question was asked made it seem like that he hadn't wrestled him yet.
I just thought it was funny that he turned around and he's like, "You coming?"
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Yeah. And then we get one of the matches we've been waiting for. We've been excited. Ruby Riott versus Nikki Cross. Nikki attacks Ruby during her entrance. Another awesome brawl. And the match never actually starts. But I feel like this is how you build an epic feud. Like, I think this is going to be a really good feud, and I think they're building it really well.
Yeah.
But thoughts on the almost match?
Yeah, I definitely agree. She hit that breakout button. But I definitely agree. Like I think because there's a takeover that's coming up soon, like I think within the next month, I think it's Backlash weekend if I'm not mistaken. Um, like it makes it to where you don't have to wait as long for something like this. And I think it makes it a little bit easier on the writer. So I'm excited. I want to see what they're going to do with this, like with this whole feud and how it's going to play out. And I like it because you don't know who's going to win. Like I think you have Nikki Cross who has been there a little bit longer, but also you got Ruby Riott. So it's kind of like where could this go? How far could this go, and who's going to win?
Yeah. Then we find out that next week there will be a battle royal to determine that Ember Moon will be the #1 contender to Asuka's NXT championship, women's championship. So yeah, they gonna be a battle royal, and we all know it's gonna be Ember Moon. But let's be honest. Watch, it's gonna be like it's gonna be somebody random that where.
It's gonna be Aaliyah. Like,
it's gonna be Sarah Lee. But yeah, any thoughts on the upcoming battle royal for the women's?
Not really. I was just laughing at Asuka's facial expressions.
And moving on to the main event of the evening, the United Kingdom Championship match, Jack Gallagher versus Tyler Bate. I was really excited for this match. I was all week. Definitely a really good match. Beautiful, technical wrestling between both of them. I love watching them because I feel like these two they do things that I would never have even thought of, but they make it work. Like the way they escape like moves and transition to other moves. Like they just do it so uniquely, and I'm like, how you think about doing that? Like, I mean, it works, but how do you come up with that? But I think, and I said this to DJ on the Snapchat. I think we need a Tyler Bate, Jack Gallagher best of 7 series. Just saying, it would be a good thing. Tyler does retain, which I wasn't surprised. I really want to know who he's eventually going to drop the title to, though. Probably. After the match, the camera does show Trent Seven, Pete Dunne, Mandrews, and Wolfgang watching in the front row. And they did say that the United Kingdom show is coming real soon.
The United Kingdom Championship weekly show. I hope that's the name of
it. they said it's coming.
Let's be honest. It's gonna be called UK Live. Like we all know.
UK sort of live because it's in the UK, so it's not really live, but it's live. But thoughts on the main event?
I thought it was amazing. I enjoyed it, especially once I think after the break it really started to heat up. But I did like a lot of the like kind of the stalemate type stuff. That was really good. Freaking Tyler Bate looks so much older with a beard. Like it's amazing how much older he looks with facial hair. And I noticed it again tonight, and I was like, man, like he looks like he like literally looks like a 19-year-old kid. Without facial hair, but like now he looks like he's like older and more experienced or whatever. But yeah, like you said, like I love the way these guys have their like unique way of transitioning from move to move and their unique just move sets in general. I love it. Jack Gallagher got to calm down with all the stretchy stuff because it's getting me uncomfortable. And I'm like, no. Like I think I did that at least 3 times. I think I did at least 3 times. But I enjoyed it though. It was a good match. Like it really was, and I think it gets you excited for the UK show whenever it actually happens.
Real soon.
Yeah, coming soon. But I guess you never really know. I think is kind of the thing. Like, I I like how they made this like a really competitive match.
Yeah. All right. That was your NXT review for the 26th, I think. Yeah, it's the 26th. Yeah. Well, now it's the 27th because, it's after midnight now, when we do this live. But when you watch it, it's not going to be that time. It might be today, could be tomorrow. We don't know when you're going to watch this. You don't know when you're going to watch this, except when you're watching it, then you know you go. Anyway, you follow us on Twitter at ICW_podcast. We will be back tomorrow for today for the TNA review and some other news with the TNA that we might talk about during the TNA. I don't know, but we'll be back for that. Like I said, follow us on Twitter, share the video, like the video, leave comments, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and we will see you on the flippity thing that I do with the dippity. Yeah.